Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/best of for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Choice Evidence 1983, and their tagline is, "It dawned on me that he was a wizard." The original OP is Dad's Girlfriend Throwaway, posted to r/mytheasshole, July 30th, 2025. New final update. Am I the asshole for telling my father and his girlfriend to either break up or leave me alone? For context, my father is dating a younger woman who openly wants to have kids. He has 3 adult children and also, openly, doesn't want more. Some time ago, they decided to wait a few years to see if either of them would change their minds about it. Otherwise, they'd break up. I told my father it was a bad idea, but he didn't care. I'm pregnant. This will be my and my husband's first baby, as well as the first grandchild on both sides, so we're all very excited. But my father's girlfriend has been extremely over the top. She takes every shot she can try to get involved in my pregnancy. To give a few examples, she calls me almost every day with name suggestions or parenting tips. Anytime I tell her and my father about something I'm planning for my baby, she feels the need to explain what she'd do or buy instead. She frequently asks me whether I'm having a boy or a girl because apparently she has different shopping lists for both. We know the sex and name, but won't announce either until the baby is here. She has asked whether she can attend one of my ultrasounds to see what it's like. Dealing with her has been very overwhelming, even if she's just being caring. We were never even remotely close before my pregnancy, so she's been making me very uncomfortable. On Saturday, I stopped by my father's place to pick up some of my old stuff. When I got there, he was having an argument with his girlfriend. They said it had to do with my baby, so they explained it to me. My father's girlfriend wanted to turn either the guest bedroom or the home office into a nursery to make it easier for them to babysit my child. My father didn't want to get rid of either. I tried to be polite about it at first. I told them I wasn't planning on having them babysit, and I probably wouldn't use their hypothetical nursery when there was a perfectly good one over at my place. But my father's girlfriend said they had been waiting so long for there to finally be a baby in the family, and she wanted to spend as much time as possible with my child. That's when I lost my patience. I said I understood they disagreed on having a baby, but that it wasn't my problem. So I told them to either break up or leave me alone because I'm done dealing with this. The next day, my father called me. He said he understood I was frustrated and that he agreed his girlfriend has been going too far, but argued that she's just excited and trying to help me, and I'm being rude to her for denying it so firmly. He's especially upset about what I said because his relationship is none of my business, and I had no right to comment on it. My husband's on my side, and so is my brother. My sister is pretty neutral. The more I think about it, the more mixed my feelings on this get. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole has no consensus bot. OP was not the asshole. Downvoted commenter. You allowing your dad to lie to his girlfriend about potentially wanting kids is cruel. But if your dad doesn't even want a nursery for his grandchild, he's done raising kids and is lying to his girlfriend. He's only with her because he's stringing his girlfriend along, knowing he's already had a vasectomy. Where the fuck did he get that from? Edit, people didn't like I said aloud when I meant she condones her dad lying about wanting more kids. Condone, accept and allow, behavior that is considered morally wrong or offensive to continue. OP responds, he's not lying to her. She knows he doesn't want kids, and he knows she does. About 4 years ago, they agreed to wait a while to see if either of them would change their minds about it. And I never mentioned any vasectomy. Commenter 1, just stop taking this crazy broad's calls, why don't ya? OP responds, yeah, I tried. If I don't pick up, she'll text instead. Commenter 2, not the asshole. The girlfriend is the one being rude by trying to shove herself into your pregnancy experience. Setting up a nursery without even asking you is wild behavior. Time to put a stop to her involvement because she's going to keep pushing. The woman has some crazy baby fever. OP responds, she's had baby fever for years. I genuinely don't know why she's still dating my father. Commenter 3, not the asshole. She's trying to live out her mom dreams through your kid and it's weird. Setting boundaries isn't rude, it's basic survival at this point. OP responds, yeah, mom dreams is a fair description. She has preferences for everything and insists on letting me know about them all. She openly doesn't care about mine. Hers are always better. Commenter 4, not the asshole. You're growing an actual human, not running a community project for your dad's girlfriend to LARP as a grandmother. She's not family. You weren't close before, and now she's inserting herself into everything like she's on the guest list for your uterus. It's perfectly reasonable to set boundaries, especially when she starts demanding nursery space in a house that doesn't even have a babysitting gig lined up. Your dad can be in whatever relationship he wants, but that doesn't mean you have to let his girlfriend rehearse for a baby she's not having. Let her decorate a Sims nursery and move on. OP responds, the fact she said she wanted to set up a nursery really freaked me out. I had given my father the okay to put a bassinet in the guest room in case we needed it, but a whole-ass nursery for a baby that won't live there? Commenter 5. How far away do they live that you and your baby will be having sleepovers? Babies grow out of bassinets in a couple of months. OP responds, about 20 minutes away, and no. My baby will not sleep over at my father's. The bassinet is in case we're visiting and the baby needs a nap. It was my father's idea, and I gave it the okay. Questions on whose idea was to have the bassinet at OP's father's place. OP responds, it was my father's idea. OP on an example on her father's girlfriend purchasing an expensive baby gift. I never thought she was trying to help me. Almost every time my father offers to buy something for my baby, she turns it into their gift and swaps my request for the version of it she prefers. Last month, they gave me an expensive stroller that doesn't suit my needs because apparently her research said it was better than the one I asked for. I couldn't return it, but I did sell it to a friend of mine and got the one I wanted, so it worked out in the end. Update 1. August 7th, 2025, 8 days later. Am I the asshole for telling my father and his girlfriend to either break up or leave me alone? Update. Hey everyone, I went through your comments and took the time to reflect a little more about this. I think I was too tired and frustrated when I wrote my first post, so I wanted to have a clear head before dealing with everything. As exhausting as it has been to deal with my father's girlfriend, I know how to manage it. Calls can be ignored, messages can be muted, and excuses can be made. I've done all of the above before. The real problem is the point it's gotten to. I strongly believe in only cutting ties as a last resort, so the fact I actually considered blocking her, I've only done that to 3 people before, and they did a lot worse than she did, scared me a little. I don't care what decisions my father and his girlfriend make about their relationship. I know what I'd do in their shoes, but I don't have to tell them that. They're both adults who should know what they're doing by now, but whatever they do, I can't let it affect me and my child, and when I told my father I was done dealing with this, I meant it. My father and I had lunch together on Tuesday, and I decided to bring this up. The first thing I told my father was that moving forward, I won't share any information about my pregnancy with his girlfriend, and after I've given birth, she won't babysit or be left alone with my baby at any point. Nor should she expect to get more pictures or information than my father will get. He wasn't happy with that, but I didn't leave a lot of room for argument. My father did, however, try to spin it into a discussion about how I don't like his girlfriend and act too cold to her. That is not true, nor is it the first time we had that discussion. He's always hated the fact that me and his girlfriend aren't close. Once that was done, I told my father that as much as I don't care what he decides to do, his relationship problems have spilled into my and my baby's lives, so I do have the right to comment on it. I told him that he needs to understand that even if he changes his mind about having kids one day, he doesn't really have a deadline to figure that out. His girlfriend is 40 years old and very clearly wants kids. At the very least, they need to have an actual conversation about what they both want and decide how to proceed. But whatever they do, she won't get her motherhood fixed through my child. My father agreed with me in the end. He said he talked to her, but I don't expect to hear more about this anytime soon. Additionally, no plans for a potential nursery at his place are moving forward. He didn't want that either, so it wasn't hard to get him to promise that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this will end well for them. If they choose to stay together, at least one of them will end up unhappy. But, like I told my father, I'm done. They're not my problem anymore. My only concern from now on will be making sure my baby is safe. Whatever happens, I have what it takes to deal with it. Thank you guys for everything. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Good for you! The ball is in your dad's court now. If he loves you and wants to keep a relationship with you and your baby, then he needs to tell his girlfriend to respect your boundaries and back off. If he even tries to say, let's talk about this, or compromise, then I would tell your dad that was his last chance for now and go no contact until he can grow a pair and make his girlfriend respect your wishes. Opie responds, I still stand by the idea of no contact only being fair if nothing else works. My father knows what he needs to do here, but I do agree with you, and I'll stand my ground on this. Commenter 2. I'm happy you drew this boundary. This is his problem and he made it yours when he failed to deal with his girlfriend first. You do not need the extra stress during pregnancy. I hope you have a healthy pregnancy. Wishing you all the best. Opie responds, thank you so much. I'm due pretty soon, so I'm more worried about how things will be once I've given birth, but I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. Their problems were weighing down on me more than I realized. Commenter 3, not the asshole, and good that you're not letting her babysitter have a nursery. I feel like if you let her babysit and she has the nursery, she will try to steal your child. Opie responds, I don't trust her enough to babysit, not because I think she'd kidnap my child, but because we've never been close, and I wouldn't let someone I don't have a close relationship with alone with my baby. I don't know what made her think I'd be okay with this. Does Opie's father and his girlfriend have a key to her place? Opie responds, no one but me and my husband does. We also live in an apartment building with good security, so it's impossible to show up unannounced. Commenter 4, nicely handled. Could I just suggest getting cameras installed, etc., and making sure the hospital knows she's not allowed there when you're having the baby? Just food for thought. Try to relax for the rest of your pregnancy, and congratulations! Opie responds, the hospital knows we don't want any visits. My husband and I are seriously thinking of making exceptions for our mothers, but we're not sure yet. If we do decide to do that, we'll plan accordingly. Commenter 5. Yeah, I just read the first post and the situation sounds nuts. Unless he has had a vasectomy, your dad is lucky she hasn't baby-trapped him. She doesn't just like and want kids, she's creepily baby-obsessed. Your dad is a bit the asshole by keeping her around fully knowing well that having a kid is so important to her. It's also her responsibility that she stays in a relationship that will never meet her needs. Opie responds, I actually don't know whether he's gotten a vasectomy, but I'm seriously impressed no accidents have happened so far. Final update, January 31st, 2026, over 5.5 months later. Hey everyone, I remember telling myself I'd write one final update once it was all over and then I'd completely forget about it. Life has been chaotic. My father did talk to his girlfriend back in August and he said she had told him she understood. It didn't seem that way from my end, but at least she'd stop calling me. At that point, I was too pregnant and too tired to not take that as a win. I didn't hear much about them for the next few weeks, but I was told that they had started having problems again. My daughter was born in November. We originally didn't want visitors, but my husband and I did end up deciding to make exceptions for both our mothers. No one else came. My father and his girlfriend met the baby a couple days after we brought her home. She saw my daughter twice and was hard to deal with both times. Wanting to hold her all the time and hesitating to give her back to us, asking to change the diaper, which I shut down, pictures every 30 seconds. During the second visit, I said I needed something from the pharmacy, and she tried to convince me to let her watch my baby while my father and I went to get it. I said it wasn't urgent and I'd ask my husband to get it on his way home. 2 weeks after that, they broke up. That was early December, and I didn't get details until right before Christmas. My father did talk to me about it a little, but he told my aunt everything, and I got most of the information I have from her. They started fighting around September because my father's girlfriend had bought some baby stuff, including a high chair, baby-proofing kids' diapers, and a baby memory book, which she had already filled with some of my information and the last ultrasound picture I sent my father. She said she was planning to use that to hopefully convince me to let her babysit. My father thinks she was also trying to convince him to let her set up a nursery again. They apparently broke up for about a week back in 2024 because I had gotten engaged and she tried to use that to convince him they should have kids. According to my father, they got back together because they loved each other too much to give up on what they had. At my wedding later that year, she told my aunt she couldn't wait for me to have a baby. The actual breakup was dragged out for so long because none of their fights never went anywhere. Knowing my father, I'm not surprised. About a week after the second time they visited my daughter, he and his girlfriend tried inviting us over, but we'd already made plans. That was when she accepted that not only was I not willing to leave her alone with my daughter, but she also would not be seeing my baby as frequently as she wanted to. They broke up for good a few days later. I haven't heard much from my father's ex since. She tried to ask me for pictures of my daughter around Christmas, which was when I blocked her. That was pretty much it. My relationship with my father is also a little less tiring than usual. But the best part of all of this is that I was not told about anything until after it was all over. At the very least, my request to be left alone was respected. Best of all, I didn't have to keep up with that drama while I was pregnant. I'll be done with my maternity leave in March, so for now, I'm getting to know my daughter. I can't even begin to describe how much I love this child. Sometimes I get overwhelmed just thinking about it. Again, thank you guys for everything. This is my last post. Concluding comments. Commenter 1. I wonder if she thought that you'd hear her thoughts on parenting and see the scrapbook and legitimately just think, wow, she's really expert at this. I'll just give her my baby. As though that was going to be the outcome. So she kind of kept dating your dad to get your baby? That's wild. Opie responds, I can't be certain what she actually wanted, but I think she realized we weren't close and she probably wouldn't spend as much time with my baby as she wanted, which was why she wanted to babysit. The baby book freaked me out a little, not gonna lie. Commenter 2. Please tell me she didn't keep the baby book, like she doesn't still have your ultrasound picture that you'd given to your dad. What is with this creepy woman's obsession with your child? It's just so gross. I mean, I sort of remember your story that your dad didn't want kids and she did. They didn't want to break up, it should have because of this fundamental incompatibility, and so she was trying to get close to your child as the next best thing or something. Kind of sad, really. She should have moved on a while ago and found someone to create her own family with. Opie responds, I'm not sure whether she kept it or not. I haven't been in my father's place since before the breakup. Commenter 3. Best outcome for everyone. I hope the ex gets to have her own kids someday. She was living in a fantasy that your child could be hers too, in a way. Enjoy your mat leave. Opie responds, yeah, this couldn't have ended well without a breakup. I feel for them, but this shouldn't have lasted for as long as it did. Commenter 4. I would be worried because she put all your personal information in that book, OP. Her behavior are creepy, and if you got the time and energy for it, would you consider maybe looking into if she still has it? Or maybe have someone else do it for you? Hope y'all are doing good otherwise, OP. Less than 3. Opie responds, oh, I'm not too worried about that. I think she just filled out memory book stuff, my and my husband's names, our family tree, my due date, etc. I bought a baby memory book for myself, and that's pretty much all you can fill out before the baby's born. There are sections about how you found out, how dad reacted, and more pregnancy stuff, but not much besides that. I don't think she wrote my social security number or anything. It freaked me out because why would someone fill out a memory book for a baby that isn't theirs? I wouldn't be as bothered if it was just a scrapbook or something like that. Commenter 5. Good outcome, but an outcome that should have happened a lot sooner. They really dragged their feet. Opie responds. My father will always refuse to admit it, but he's bad at ending things, and I think they were very similar in that sense. From what I was told, every argument they had played out the same. She'd say she wanted a kid, he'd say he didn't, they'd fight, it wouldn't go anywhere, they'd stop talking to each other for 10 minutes and then change the subject. So, at some point for the dad, you've got to realize when your girlfriend is obsessing over your daughter's pregnancy to an extremely unhealthy extent, where you just got to realize to yourself, oh god, she really wants a child. This relationship isn't going to work out and we're just delaying the inevitable. I'm happy that it happened, but I'm just surprised that it didn't happen earlier. The fact the baby book wasn't the biggest red flag to make him go, yeah, maybe I should pull the plug, is just a bit shocking, if I'm gonna be honest. But I am glad, in the end, the relationship did end so both of them can pursue the life they actually want to live, and OP doesn't have to deal with the drama of someone obsessing over their child. Enjoy your maternity leave and congrats on the daughter, OP. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillars 77, and their tagline is, "Saying is not a pogo stick." The original OP is deleted. Posted March 18th, 2015 to r/relationships. Did that silence make you uncomfortable? Good. Ah, fuck, that made me uncomfortable. Me, 27 female, with my friend/future roommate, 26 female of 5 years, keeps saying I'm abusive to my cat because she's inside. Has tried to let the cat out several times to play. I've been friends with Kara. Kara? I'm gonna go with Kara. I've been friends with Kara for 5 years. I've known her a lot longer. She went to my middle school and high school. We were really different people back then. College really helped us grow as people. So I've been friends with her and lived with her in the dorms. That said, I have a 2-year-old cat, Lily, who I love. A lot of people tell me that I treat her like a child since I worry about what she's eating, have annual checkups with the vet, buy her new toys, I leave music on for her when I leave the house. I got her while living with my parents. They have a house with a completely bricked-in backyard. My cat cannot jump very high, so she couldn't get out. We could leave the back door open and she would come and go as she pleased. Now, I live in a busy area with dogs running loose, and it's not a good idea to let her out on the porch even. Kara needs to move out of her parents' house quickly because her dad and mom are divorcing. They plan to sell the house in a month or so, and have told Kara she needs to figure out her own shit. So she's been asking around looking for a roommate. She has a good job and is fun to live with. But the big issue is Lily. I also have my sister's cat, 9 years old, living with me as well. My sister cannot have pets in her new apartment and her daughter is allergic. So I have adopted Rumple. I have adopted Rumple as well. Rumple is declawed. My sister is dumb and has never been outside. When Kara comes over, she'll get up and walk towards the door when Lily goes near it. She says she's just used to letting animals out when they want and doesn't see why I'm being abusive to a wild animal. She says it in a jokey way so it doesn't seem like she takes me seriously. I want to help Kara, but I am afraid if she lives with me, she will let out both cats and I won't see them again. The next door unit has gone through several cats because their kids leave the door open and the cats get out and get hit. I have seen multiple animals dead on the road just this week. We always have people using shovels to scrape them off and toss them in the trash. There are even signs up asking people to keep their animals inside because we have such a huge problem with animals fighting. Management has started getting animal control to pick up any stray pets wandering around in the parking lot/park area. I'm not sure what to do. On one hand, I have 2 bedrooms and she needs help. On the other, she is going to get my pets taken from me and killed. I would like to figure out a way to explain to her how her behavior is what is keeping her from moving in. Because even if she does listen, I'm still afraid she'll be an idiot and let them out to play. And they can run off. How do I handle this situation? Too long didn't read. Me, 27 female, with my friend/future roommate, 26 female of 5 years, keeps saying I'm abusive to my cat because she's inside. Has tried to let the cat out several times to play. Top comments. User Nopecakes. She'll let both cats out and you'll likely never see them again. Don't let her live with you. If I had a friend trying to let my indoor-only cat outside, she would be perma-banned from my house. User Code Verity comments in response, "Yup, this. I had a prior roommate who did this. I would repeatedly tell him not to let my cat out, and he did it anyways because he didn't think it was fair and cats are supposed to be outside. To be honest, I just couldn't trust myself to live with a person like this. All it takes is them getting the pet out once, and something could happen." User Chekunk, I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm gonna get comments like, "Oh, it's obviously this." There's one vowel in there. What do you want from me? Your friend does not respect you. Let me repeat that. Your friend does not respect you. Your cat, your rules, period. She thinks that her opinion is worth so much more than yours that she can just do whatever she wants. If you do end up living with her, you will be in for a world of trouble. I guarantee it. Update, March 22nd, 2015. 4 days later. So the issue came to a head yesterday. Two things happened in the last few days. The first, Kara and I are no longer friends. Kara called me in tears begging me to take her dog. Her parents had decided to rehome Sammy with a family friend who has kids and time to take care of him. Sammy is overweight, wild, and not housebroken. He is also cat aggressive. Kara wanted to move him into the apartment before she even moved in to prevent Sammy from getting stolen from her. I told her that it wasn't going to work out and the dog could not come. I tried to be nice about it because she sounded really upset. I told her that Rumple and Lily were the only pets I was allowed to have in the apartment and I didn't really want any more animals. She told me to give Rumple back to my sister and let her bring Sammy. When I tried to tell her no again, she hung up the phone. She called back an hour later while I was getting ready for work. She left 2 scathing messages about how I'm a bad friend and Sammy needs her. I'm not sure why she cares about the dog so much because she neglected him in the first place. She came by the apartment that evening to talk it out and have a roommate meeting. The whole meeting was a joke. She talked down to me and said she was doing me a favor moving in. Not really. And with the money she would be paying, she should have one of the pet slots. She wanted me to give Rumple back to my sister. She said it was the right thing to do. I told her no, which is to say, I kind of tried to be nice about it, but I finally got fed up with her and said, "Sorry, but no, Sammy." I then told her we needed to talk about the whole moving in thing. It took me a few minutes to even get to that point, but I said I was going to be looking for a different roommate because I felt uncomfortable with the idea of her living there. She got upset and left. She then blocked me on Facebook and Instagram. I only know this because she texted me that she blocked me. Then she said she hoped my cats ran away. Then she must have posted something about me picking cats over her because my friend Becca called me to ask what I did to piss off Kara. In the end, it worked out for the best. My cousin Ruby is coming into town soon and has been saying she's looking for a roommate, so I might suggest she lives with me. Either way, Kara is no longer someone I am wasting time on. Too long didn't read. Me, 27 female, with my friend/future roommate, 26 female, 5 years, keeps saying I'm abusive to my cat because she's inside, has tried to let the cat out several times to play. We talked it out, and she was pissed I chose cats over her. Not sure I want to remain friends. The fucking audacity of someone who might be moving in, who's desperately looking for a new place to live, to be asking you, "Hey, would you mind rehoming one of your pets so I could move in? We need to have a roommate meeting about this crisis so I can try to convince you to get rid of your cats." Wow, you're a bad friend for picking your own pets over my dog, but I'm gonna post on Facebook saying you're picking your cats over me. My dog, by the way, which is heavily neglected and does not take kindly to cats. God, the fucking irony of her saying that she abuses her cats by keeping them indoors. Also, while the declawing wasn't done by OP, letting a declawed cat outside is extremely dangerous for it. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, "Satan is not a pogo stick." The original OP is Chemical Capricious, posted to r/girlgamers February 14th, 2015. Boyfriend made me a Valentine's gift that was a puzzle picture of me standing in front of my losing streaks in my favorite games. I know people in the sub usually hate posts like this, but I feel this is the only community that can tell me if I'm overreacting. He got me a mystery puzzle for Valentine's to put together with him because he loves doing puzzles. I realize my face is in it, and I laugh. And I realize it has some match histories, and laugh. Then I realize his entire gift for Valentine's is a puzzle he wants to tape and frame, making fun of me for being bad at the games he plays the most, and I felt kinda about it. Especially because these are games where I watch him flame people and flip his shit on them for being bad at them. He got angry at me as soon as he realized I didn't like it and told me I need to learn to laugh at myself. I asked him what he thought was funny about it, and he said if he had to explain it, then it wouldn't be funny. My friends make memes about me fucking up plays or saying dumb things like red and yellow makes orange. It just feels different. I guess I would have preferred it as a birthday gift, but on Valentine's Day, my only gift and special thing being something making fun of me. When he constantly makes fun of me for being bad at these games, I watch him type paragraphs making fun of people for these games. Just felt demoralizing. He said it's okay I'm bad at them because I'm hot, which didn't help. And he only got more pissed that I didn't find that helpful. How would y'all take something like that? Relevant comments. Saint Caricature. He gave you a mean prank instead of a gift. That sucks. I'd be upset too. And I don't think you're wrong to draw a connection between his making fun of you for how well you play games and his making fun of strangers. It sounds like he enjoys being mean in general. You deserve to be treated kindly and to have your feelings valued. User Windmill Crabwalk comments, because he loves doing puzzles, was another thing that caught my eye. If you're getting a gift for someone, it should be something they would like or enjoy. Sounds like this whole thing was just for his own amusement and benefit. OP responds, yep, from start to finish, it was about him. User Flippy Squid comments, I would make him single for Valentine's, but I'm a crusty old Gen X mom with 2 daughters and too old for that shit. And I sure as heck wouldn't be okay with either of my daughters being treated like that by a partner. You can tell a lot about the kind of person someone is by how they treat the people they game with. You deserve to be treated better than what you're getting out of your relationship. Just think about it. Opie responds, I agree, and I generally wasn't perturbed by it because him and his friends constantly banter and talk crap to each other. When he makes fun of me for being bad, I believe him when he says he means it lightheartedly, but I know he's making the joke because it has a grain of truth and he knows I was upset about being bad at these games and holding back his enjoyment. All the guys I play with that are my friends, but not his, found it absolutely hilarious. But I think y'all are making me realize I didn't find it funny because I feel a level of discomfort in the relationship. User Flippy Squid responds again, good-natured ribbing is fine if the person receiving it is fine with it. He knew before he got you this gift that it hurts your feelings to be made fun about your gaming skills. If his intentions were innocent, the moment you stopped enjoying the puzzle because you saw what it was a picture of, he should have been falling over himself to apologize and make it better. Instead, he doubled down on it, being a you problem. He's treating you like some kind of trophy girlfriend and not a person he cares about. I'm so sorry he did this to you at all, much less on Valentine's. Sudden breakdown. So first he gets you a gift of a puzzle because he likes doing them. That's the first thing that seemed weird to me. Doesn't seem like he was thinking of you much there. Then it's a gift that makes you a punchline of a mean joke. I think that's a pretty crappy gift. Any day of the week, but it's definitely not something you gift on a birthday, Valentine's Day, or any other big gift-giving day. That's a joke gift you give on a random Tuesday afternoon at best. And further, he's already got a reputation for raging at games and bad players. Nope. It's like being rude to waitstaff or mean to pets. It indicates a lot about a person's character and the ability to regulate their emotions. I mean, what happens when he's the butt of the joke? Does he take it with grace or does he get mean? Does he ever laugh at himself like he expects you to? He couldn't explain the joke to you because it wasn't funny. It was just meant to put you down for his amusement. And to top it off, he says, it's okay because you're hot? In what world is that an acceptable response that makes any sense? He reduced you to your sex appeal. It clearly shows what he values most in the relationship. He sounds insufferable and juvenile. I tell him that he's a bad boyfriend and he's not hot enough to make it okay. Opie responds, only he likes puzzles, but I think it's okay because for Valentine's it was my gift, but his activity to suit the love languages. He laughs at himself and takes jokes on his behalf really well, unless he feels the person is serious. I did press him to explain the joke because I wanted him to admit the humor was, it's funny because you're bad and I'm making light of it. I felt like I was more upset than I'd normally be, but he definitely got angrier than I felt was normal. Simple Signifier responds, that's like if you got him tickets to a concert you love, which you then used yourself because you attending the concert is the activity and he got the ticket. Don't worry, you'll bring him a program and stub afterwards. Update, February 16th, 2025, 2 days later. I ended up deleting the post because it was getting a lot of traction and it was overwhelming. Also, some women just engaging in the casual misogyny of accusing me of trying to be a cool girl and surrounding myself with toxic men for validation was crazy off that one post. Anyway, the next day I got acceptances into all the PhD programs I applied to, one of which I was offered a fellowship. Basically, High honors showing I was an extremely competitive admit. Boyfriend was still so mad over the Valentine's gift, he wasn't speaking and only congratulated me over text saying, "Great news." My friends were appalled and threw an impromptu party for me when I cried at the show of support. My parents are dead. It's just me in this world, between what some very great women said to me as motivational advice in the sub and that it helped me give me the final push. They came together to help me make a plan to get a new apartment, move out, and help start this new chapter of my life. I'm gonna buy myself a cute little battle station as a gift. I've been saving up for one for this exact thing, so hopefully my next post is pics of that. Thanks for the community support. Final comments. Dark Abysso. I don't know why I said it like that. Nice! Congratulations on your PhD program. I hope it brings you success. As for your boyfriend, he kind of seems like an immature child who isn't considering your feelings. If he persists in not talking to you, then maybe you deserve the break from him and time to reflect on yourself if it's still worth staying around him. I'm glad you're thinking about your future. Make sure your happiness comes first. OP responds, "Oh, we aren't going to be together anymore by the end of the week. I think it was over way before today anyway. Just waiting to have everything in order before I drop the other shoe, so to speak." Yeah, it's pretty difficult to take that gift as anything other than just a direct insult. That's just pretty pathetic, dude. Like, rather than helping your partner get better at the game that you're raging at, or helping them actually learn maybe where some of their mistakes might be, or helping them improve, instead you gift them a puzzle on Valentine's Day about how bad they are. Also, again, it's worth pointing out the fact that there was a study done with Halo 3, I believe, that showed that men that were more toxic and misogynistic towards women were oftentimes more insecure about their own abilities in the game. And when playing against a girl gamer who was better, they would oftentimes lash out, but when playing against a male who was better, they would become submissive and breedable. The actual language they used in the study, by the way, well, not the breedable part, the submissive part. And it also found that men who are confident in their abilities oftentimes rarely showed any sexist behavior towards their teammates who were femoids. So in other words, your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend just fucking sucks. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Bear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.